Hello everyone. This is Soumya, working as an assistant professor, Government First Grade College, Vijayanagar, Bangalore. In one of our last video, we discussed metamerism. What is the meaning of metamerism and certain specific characters of metamerism and types of metamerism in the animals kingdom. Today, in continuation with that, we are going to discuss quite more regarding the metamerism. So in the last video, we discussed metamerism, that metamerism is nothing but there is a repetition of segments or an organ in an organism in a very uniform manner. And those metameric segments, they are all uniform and function independently. Along with that, they also have the coordination with each other. And we classified the metameric animals based on the type of metamerism they have. That is the pseudo metamerism and the true metamerism. Examples are the cystode and the tapeworm and the annelids. Uh, in case of the pseudo metamerism, they have the metameric segments. They have the segments, but those segments are not true metameric segments. In turn, as I said, they don't qualify or they don't specify certain characteristic feature of metameric segments. Whereas in case of true metameric segments, those are having original metameric segments, which actually qualifies all the specific characters of metameric segments. In this video, we'll be discussing one more classification of metamerism, that is homonomous metamerism and heteronomous metamerism. Homonomous metamerism, in which the individual will be having the equal segments, equal metameric segments, whereas in case of the heteronomous metamerism, the individuals will be having the unequal segments. Examples are the earthworm and the arthropod, for respectively for homonomous and heteronomous metamerism. See, in case of this picture, you can see here it is an example, typical example for the homonomous metamerism. As I said, the metameric segment will be appeared in the trunk region. In case of this homonomous metamerism, except the anterior and the posterior region, the middle portion of the individual which is having the metameric segment, here those metameric segments are very equal and functions accordingly, and they are independent even. Whereas in case of the heteronomous metamerism, there the best example can be the arthropods. Almost all the arthropods will be having the heteronomous metamerism. As the name indicates, hetero means different. So whatever the segments are there, metameric segments are there, they are of different size, and the functions includes they'll be performing differently. But all those metameric segments independently. Uh, all those metameric segments performs independently, functions independently. But the thing, all those metameric segments, they do function for the benefit of an organism. So you can make out easily how the metameric segments, in insects are having a true, we can easily identify, or we can easily see the metameric segments in case of the insects. Typically, the insects will be having the head, thorax, and the abdomen region. Those are also the segments, but in case of the crustaceans, we can actually make out the metameric segments very easily. And whatever the metameric segments are there, they do work independently, but all these metameric segments work for the benefit of organism. So to summarize this session, in this session, along with the metamerism, that what we discussed in the last video, we discussed the continuation part of the metamerism. So to summarize the whole thing, metamerism is nothing but it is a continuous repetition of a segments or the organ system of an organism in a repetitive manner, but all those repetitive metameric segments functions independently, and each of the metameric segments will be having coordination with each other for the benefit of organism. Based on the appearance or the presence of the division of the metameric segments, we can classify the metamerism into pseudometamers and the true metameric individuals. In case of the pseudometamerism, the metameric segments are not complete, whereas in case of the true metameric segments, the metameric segments are completely divided, and they are very uniform and work together. Whereas in case of the homonomous and the heteronomous metamerism, based on the size of the segments, we can classify size and shape of the segment. We can classify the animals, the true metameric segments into homonomous and the heteronomous metameric segments. In case of the homonomous metamerism, we can see equal size of metameric segment, whereas in case of the heteronomous metamerism, whatever the metameric segments are unequal, but both of the metameric segments functions independently and they work for the benefit of organism. And these are the references I had gone through to make this content. Thank you.